Welcome people, we're gonna back at it again with another video. In today's video, I'll be giving my preview of Chelsea versus Aston Villa, right? Which will be played tomorrow, the 24th of September 2023, right? And the game will be played at Stamford Bridge, right? And I think that's gonna give us a little bit of a boost. So yeah, without further ado, let me get into the injury news before getting into the lineup. Now, Moises Caicedo was on international duty with Ecuador 2 weeks back, and he picked up a knee injury. Now, that knee injury meant that he could not take part against Bournemouth on last Sunday at all. And we're not sure if he's going to be able to play tomorrow. So what Pochettino said in his press conference on Friday is that Caicedo will be assessed on Saturday, right, which is today, to see if he can play or not, and if he can play, how long can he play? Can he start? Does he need to come off the bench? Things like that. So yeah. Then, in terms of people who are coming back into the matchday squad, right, who are likely to come back into the matchday squad, those two are Marco Correa and Noni Madueke. Last week Sunday, Marco Correa was not part of the matchday squad because he had a bad fever, right? But from what I heard, Monday he was back in individual training with a fitness coach. And then with Noni Madueke, he had a muscular problem, right, that he picked up whilst on international duty with the England under-21s, but he's back for this week, right? So he could be a part of the matchday squad because both of them have been training this week. Now, with Benoit Badiashile, right, our left centre back, our Rolls Royce centre back, who's too good, right? Unfortunately, with him, he's had a minor injury setback, right? But it's not the same muscle that was injured. So he injured one of his hamstrings, which is why he has been out for a while now, like since the back end of last season. And now the setback that he has had is not on the same muscle, it's on a different muscle. From what I've heard, it's on his other hamstring. So yeah. But I'm also aware of the fact that he has been training with the other guys who are not available for selection yet, like your Reece James, your Trevor Chalobah, your Kani Chukwemeka, those kind of guys. So it's not the end of the world, right? It's not like, oh, he needs surgery now or something like that. It's kind of okay. I'm hoping maybe like 3 weeks time he'll be back or something like that. So yeah, but having him back as soon as possible would be great. So yeah, and then what else? Oh yeah, one last thing. Armando Broya might be part of the matchday squad tomorrow after being sidelined for 9 months, following his ACL rupture back in December. Now, will Broja start the game? No ways. There's no way he's gonna start without playing for 9 months, right? Um, but I'd like to see him come off the bench at least 15 minutes. If I can see Broya for like 15 minutes, I'll be happy. That will make my heart happy. And if he were to score, I'll be even happier. So yeah, that's the injury news that I've got for you guys. Now let's get into the lineup. In goal, I'll go with none other than Robert Sanchez. Last week against Bournemouth, he was our best player, hands down. He was the man of the match against Bournemouth last week. You know, he saved us a few times. Gotten we could have gotten 4 goals put in the net by Bournemouth last week if it wasn't for him. Okay, maybe not 4, maybe like 2 or 3, but he certainly saved us on quite a few occasions, right? And I'm hoping that if he needs to do it again tomorrow, then he's up to the task. But I'm also hoping that he doesn't have to do that stuff. But yeah, in any case, Sanchez starts and goal for me. Right back, Malo Gusto, easy. There's no other option, and this man is solid for me, right? He links up well with Raheem Sterling, right? He looks cool and composed. It seems as though he is taken to the Premier League very nicely. He starts at right back. Now, in terms of the centre backs, this was a difficult decision, right? This is a 4-2-3-1, by the way. The centre backs were a difficult decision because Colwell, Silva, and Disasi started last week. This week, I'm only rolling with 2 proper centre backs because I want a proper left back in the left back position. Now, the centre backs that I've gone with for this game are Thiago Silva at right centre back, right, and Levi Colwell at left centre back, right, and then Ben Chilwell at left back. Now, with the centre back position, it was a bit of a tough decision because it's like who do I drop? Disasi or do I drop Levi Colwell? Now the reason I've chosen to include Colwell over Disasi is for one reason only. They've both had good starts to the season. You can see potential in both of them, but Colwell has exhibited more of his on the ball skills than what Disasi has. I'm sure Disasi can do something on the ball, that helps the team, right? Like a nice diagonal pass, right? Or things like that, right? But he hasn't shown that to me yet. Whereas Colwell has. He's shown me that he can play some really, really good passes, right? Into some really good spaces. And in addition to that, he can dribble a little bit. So that's why he starts over Disasi, right? And then I want Ben Chilwell at left back. I don't want Colwell at left back tomorrow. No, 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 no. I do not want Colwell at left back and Chilwell on the bench, because the problem with that is that whoever's ever playing on the left is not going to have support from the fullback, and that makes their job a lot harder, right? And it makes it a lot more difficult for them to perform at the level that the team needs them to perform. So for that reason, a proper left back starts at left back. Chilwell, let's go. Okay. Oh, and Chilwell takes the captaincy, right? There's another change in the team that means that somebody who was captain last week will not start the game. Okay, cool. So now let's go into the midfield pivot. Last week we played a 4-3-3, right? We had Leslie Ugochukwu as the single six, and then the eights of Conor Gallagher and Enzo Fernandez. But I don't want to play a 3 tomorrow because I want to play a midfield pivot with 2 players and then 3 attacking midfielders in front of them. And I'll explain why, right? But in that midfield pivot, I'd like to see Enzo Fernandez and Leslie Ugochukwu, right? Now, I have to make the difficult decision to drop Conor Gallagher, who captained the team last week, and he played well. But the thing is, Leslie Ugochukwu is a proper number 6. That's number 1. Number 2, he played well against Bournemouth. I know Bournemouth were open. They were giving us space and emptying there. I know that. But he played well, right? So I'm thinking he deserves to start this game. He really does. And he's a proper 6, like I said. Then Enzo Fernandez, I don't need to explain. We all know how good his passing ability is. So for that reason, he starts, right? He's one of our best performers. He helps to create chances for the team, so he starts for sure. You know what I'm saying? Now, the 3 attackers in front of them, right? On the left, I'm going with Misha Mudryk. Misha Mudryk starts. He must start tomorrow because against Bournemouth, he was one of our best players. Yeah, he was one of our best players in the first half, and he did that without even getting the ball much, number 1, and number 2, without his fullback supporting him. So now imagine if Chilwell starts at left back and Mudryk also starts, right? And Chilwell is proactively supporting Mudryk, whether he's on the underlap, on the overlap, you know what I'm saying? I think that Mudryk can cook in that way if he gets that support from his left back. So yeah, Mudryk starts for sure, and it will be nice for him to get a goal or an assist tomorrow, or multiple goals or assists tomorrow, because I'm getting tired of this thing of people saying that he's overrated, he's not talented, making memes about him. I'm getting tired, fam. I am getting tired. But I also know that the only way for it to stop is for him to shut up the haters. I can't shut up his haters. He has to do that. So I'm hoping that he can go ahead and do that tomorrow. Now, on the right-hand side, it's an easy decision. Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling has had a good start to the season, right? In a few instances, he's been indecisive. He's not buried chances that he should have buried, right? But it's okay. It's okay. He's doing other things right. He's getting the ball and he's taking players on, right? In an Eden Hazard-esque way. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I want Sterling on the right and I want him to take people on tomorrow. 1v1 them, because in a 1v1, you really have to be on your game to stop Sterling, right, when he's playing well. So I just want him to do what he does best tomorrow, right? Link up with Jackson. If he gets into positions to shoot and be clinical, and yeah, then it'll be looking good for us. And also he links up well with Malo Gusto, so yeah. Then in the number 10 position, right, who am I going with? I'm going with Cole Palmer, right? Now the reason I've gone to a 4-2-3-1 is because I want a number 10 tomorrow. Last week against Bournemouth, we played a 4-3-3, right? There was no number 10. And I'm thinking that if we add a number 10, right, we could have get greater chemistry within the attack. I feel that the attack will be more functional in that way because there'll be one central player who's linking up all the play from the midfield, right, to the wings to Jackson up top. Well, okay, I just leaked the fact that Jackson's up top, but anyway, it was always going to be him. There's no one else really who can start up top for us tomorrow. So yeah, I'm including Palmer in that number 10 because I feel like he can bring everything together. He can integrate everything. He can bring Mudryk into the game. He can bring Sterling into the game. He can bring Jackson into the game. And he's that link between midfield and attack. So yeah, he starts tomorrow. He hasn't really shown me anything that has amazed me, right? Since he's come to Chelsea and since he's played against Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth. But I'm gonna give him a chance tomorrow. I'm gonna give him a start tomorrow, and I hope he utilizes it. And then obviously Nicholas Jackson up top. Now from Jackson, what we need is very simple. We need him to do the basics right. Hold up the ball well. Keep the ball very, very well. Take care of that ball. That ball is his friend tomorrow, right? That's number one. Number two, I need him to be in the right place at the right time. What do I mean by that? If he receives the ball, right, in a central position and he passes it out to the wing, right, I need him to know that that ball will eventually come to him. I need him to run into the box, maybe beyond a penalty spot, maybe even on the 6-yard area, right? So that if a cross flushes past the face of the goal, it's a easy tap in for him. He gets a goal. Let's go. You understand what I'm saying? I need him to do those kind of things right. I need him to get opportunities and be composed, right? Maximum composure. Maximum composure. I don't want him latching at chances, being like, yo, I have to score. If I don't score, it's the end of the world. No, relax, Jackson. Relax, Also, there was a time last week where the ball came into the box and he headed it, but not really because the ball just hit him. And then that was that. So if the ball comes into the box tomorrow, I want him to attack that thing with his head, right? With all the power that he's got. I need that from him. So yeah, that's my team that I would go with for tomorrow. And those are the expectations that I have of the individual players. Now, I saw a stat, right, from football.london, if I'm not mistaken, right, that since scoring against Luton, right, since Nicholas Jackson's goal against Luton in August, right, we've had over 40 shots in total, and none of those have ended up being a goal, right? Now, if you look at Chelsea play, you will see something that's very clear. We play very well. We control games very well. That's great. That's fantastic. But we need to score the goals. Today, this afternoon, I was watching Luton versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, right? Because I wanted to see what a certain Pedro Neto can do. That guy's a star. Watch out for him. Now, whilst I was watching the game, it was very clear what was going on. Luton were putting Wolves under piles and piles and piles of pressure, right? And they had like 11 attempts at one point and only one shot on target. So they were creating a lot of chances, but they weren't being clinical at all. Wolves, on the other hand, guess what they did? Second half, they have one attempt, they have one goal. Before they had scored, they had no attempts on goal. Think about how mad that is. Luton had 11 attempts on goal before Wolves scored and only one on target. Wolves had one attempt on target, and it's a goal. You understand what I'm saying? That's the kind of clinical finishing that I need from Chelsea tomorrow. That's what I want to see tomorrow. Please, lads. Please. So, yeah, that's my lineup for tomorrow, and those are my expectations on the players, and that's about it. Because this weekend is a bit more relaxed than others, I'll be able to upload the review straight after the game. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Until then, have a good one, people, and peace.